Shock ruling Duggar ex-pals Jim and Bobye Holt lose custody of kids and are deemed unfit parents after severe physical and mental abuse. Jim and Bobye Holt will speak to their children on the phone for just 2 hours a week. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's former close friends Jim and Bobye Holt have lost custody of their 2 minor children after an Arkansas judge deemed the parents unfit. Jim, 59, and Bobye, 55, were close friends with Jim Bob, 59, and Michelle, 58, as their eldest daughter had entered a courtship with their oldest son Josh with the goal of marriage. In April 2023, Bobye requested an order of protection against her husband, who she shares 11 children with, before dismissing the order in December 2023. Jim and Bobye's son Spencer then filed a petition for emergency guardianship for 3 of their minor children in January 2024, citing abuse. Now, the U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal per court papers that Jim and Bobye have lost custody of their minor children, ages 13 and 8. In the petition for emergency guardianship obtained by the U.S. Sun from Madison County Court in Arkansas, Spencer, who noted he has developed a close personal relationship with the minor children throughout their lives, claimed Jim has engaged in a pattern of severe physical and mental abuse of the minor children throughout their life, as witnessed and experienced by the other children who are now over 18 years of age. Spencer noted the 2 protection orders granted against the children's father on behalf of his son Samuel Holt and wife Bobye, as the 3 minor children were protected in her order. Spencer claimed that, without warning, Bobye dismissed the protection order and allowed Jim back home with the minor children. Bobye has thus again subjected the children to the same physical and mental abuse at the hands of the father that was the cause of the first protection order, without warning or reason, and is not fit to have custody of the children, the papers allege. Spencer then explained how Samuel's order of protection, which the court granted, is still active because of years of physical and mental abuse. The children's father has continued this pattern with all of his children, including the 3 minor children, and he is not fit to have custody of the children. It would be in the best interests of the minor children that a temporary and permanent guardianship be created placing custody of the minor children with the petitioner, the papers read. Spencer continued to allege that an emergency exists in which the children's father has recently engaged in a continuing pattern of physical violence with the children, and subjected the minor children to witnessing the physical and mental abuse of the other siblings, and the children are understandably afraid of him. Jim Holt has made his intentions known to the children if he is allowed to return to the home. Bobye Holt has made it clear by voluntarily dismissing her protection order that she is unwilling to protect the children from this danger. He asked to be appointed as the guardians of person and the estate of the minor children immediately. Denying the claims in Jim and Bobye's answer to the petition, they claimed regarding the protection order and abuse. Respondents admit 2 orders of protection were consented to without an evidentiary hearing being held. Bobye Holt has since removed the order of protection. The order of protection against Samuel, based on conduct that was alleged to occur after Samuel was an adult, is still in place. To the extent any further response is required, respondents deny the allegations. Regarding the claim that the children are afraid of their father, the couple responded, respondents deny the allegations. Having fully responded to this petition, respondents request this court deny and dismiss the petition in its entirety and that petitioner take nothing thereby, for their attorney's fees and costs incurred herein, and for such other relief as this court deems just and proper. Jim and Bobye claim Spencer is not qualified nor suitable to be a guardian, and that if one is needed, they recommended another couple. In February 2024, after testimony of the parties and their witnesses, and arguments of attorneys, the court found Spencer as qualified, suitable and fit to act as guardian of the 3 minor children. This court finds that due to a history and continuing pattern of abuse in the household of James and Bobye Holt, there is an imminent threat to the health and safety of the minor children, and as a result, a guardian is desirable to protect the interests of the minor children. Spencer was named the permanent guardian of the oldest minor child, and temporary guardian of the 2 younger minors, according to court papers. Jim was ordered to continue his current counseling until discharged by the counselor. Visitation between the children and their parents is to be held at the direction of their counselor and attorney ad litem for the minor children. Jim and Bobye were also ordered to pay child support to Spencer for the minor children. In May 2024, the guardianship of the oldest minor child was dismissed because she reached the age of 18. New guardian. Then in August 2024, a petition for substitution of guardian was filed. The current guardian, Spencer Holt, consents that it is in the children's best interest that the substitute petitioner be appointed guardian of the minor children at this time. The substitute petitioner is Christian Holt, the older biological sibling to the minor children. The minor children have a closely held relationship with their siblings, including the substitute petitioner, who has created a community of care, support and resources for the minor children during this time. During the pendency of the temporary guardianship, the children have enjoyed ample time spent with their older sibling, Christian Holt, and have expressed a desire to move full-time into her care and custody. Jim and Bobye responded to the request. Respondents admit that all their children, grown and minor, have had a close relationship with one another and are thankful that their children have each other for support. However, respondents do not believe that all their grown children's behavior has been directed at assisting the minor children in addressing the emotional harm to the minor children's relationship with their parents and healing said relationship. They claim Spencer and Christian have taken actions to alienate their minor children from them. Respondents have cause to believe that Christian Holt, in particular, is filled with extreme bile toward both respondents, and this hostility makes her unsuitable to act as guardians, as they believe this has interfered with the emotional healing of the children. Christian Holt is not allowed to have guardianship of the minor children, Jim and Bobye requested. Final custody decision. But on September 26, the Arkansas judge on the case granted the petition for Christian to be the guardian of the two minor children after the parties participated in mediation held on September 18. The court papers read, "The court finds that the parents of the minor children are currently unfit and the children are in need of a guardian to protect their life and health, and it is in the best interest of the children that a guardian be appointed." The court further finds that Christian Holt is qualified and suitable to serve as guardian. According to the agreement, Jim and Bobye are allowed 2 phone calls per week with the minor children on Thursdays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. For a period of 8 weeks, visitation shall be supervised by a visitation service. Visitation shall be for 2 hours each week on Mondays. After 8 weeks, visitation will be during the day, unsupervised, in a public place for 3 hours a week. 4 weeks after that, Jim and Bobye will have unsupervised visitation every Monday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Then 4 weeks after that period, visitation will be unsupervised every Sunday from 1 p.m. to Monday at 7 p.m. After 4 weeks, visitation will be every Sunday at 1 p.m. to Tuesday at 7 p.m. Finally, 4 weeks after that period, visitation will be every Sunday from 1 p.m. to Friday at 8 a.m. Once they have completed the visitation outlined above, the minor children shall return to the legal and physical custody of the respondents, subject to visitation with the guardian outlined below, and the guardianship shall automatically terminate unless a petition has been filed to the contrary. When the minor children are returned to the legal custody of Jim and Bobye, the guardian will have visitation every other weekend from Friday at 3:30 p.m. to Monday at 8 a.m., and every Tuesday evening from 3:30 p.m. to Wednesday 8 a.m. for a period of 12 months. Jim and Bobye are ordered to pay $670 a month in child support to Christian. Jim Holt denied the claims and ruling when the U.S. Sun reached out for comment, claiming it is inaccurate and under seal. He added, "Beyond that, we have no further response." Protection order claims the custody case comes after Bobye filed an order of protection against Jim. In the petition for order of protection previously reported on by the U.S. Sun, Bobye checked off that she is filing the petition because she believes she continues to be in immediate danger of domestic abuse. She also checked off, "I am the parent, guardian of a child whom I believe is in danger of domestic abuse." Bobye, who married Jim in 1987, alleged in the affidavit on the 6th of April 2023, "My adult son got belligerent with his father and in return his father, my husband, got physical with our adult son, all the while in front of our minor children. I told my husband multiple times to stop and not do this, and especially in front of our minor children. I was told to shut up multiple times." Bobye continued to claim, "I believe now that my adult son has filed charges against his father and feel that my husband would confront me in the presence of my minor children. Even though he hasn't been physical with our minor children, to my knowledge, I do not feel it is healthy for them to witness this form of confrontation between myself and my husband. My husband has been physical in the past with our other children who are adults now, but were older teens at the time, but not ever with our current minor children who are 16, almost 17, 11 and 7 years old. But I feel there is now a current reason for this order to be put in place. Because of the altercation on the 6th of April 23, I have been advised to get the children out of his presence because there was another altercation between my adult son. Bobye claimed she and the minor children did not witness the other altercation. She continued to allege, I have since moved my children and myself to my oldest adult son's home. This son is not the one filing the charges against his father. But we would like to go back to our home, without worry he will come and confront or emotionally harm our minor children. I believe our home is the most stable place and best suited for our children instead of my oldest son's apartment. Please consider my request. Bobye requested the 3 minor children in their care be protected from their father as well. A final order of protection was granted until May 8, 2033. Jim was prohibited from any place where petitioner and/or minors may be located. Bobye was awarded temporary custody of the minor children. Jim and Bobye reconciled then on December 29, 2023. Bobye requested to dismiss the order. She wrote, Jim has shown great strides in getting the help he needs. This info has been shared with me via friends, letters from therapist, paperwork he filed, complying with the order for 8.5 months, never contacted me or been on my property via cameras, for proof, and word of mouth from 4 men who have counseled with us, separately, for the duration, for the purpose of joint therapy. She checked off on the form, I request the dismissal freely and voluntarily and of my own free will, and I am no longer in fear of respondent. Holt family tells all the couple appeared happy and affectionate during Amazon Prime's Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, which premiered in June 2023. The docuseries exposed the Duggar family's belief in the controversial organization the Institute of Basic Life Principles. Jim and Bobye held hands while detailing their decades-long friendship with Jim Bob and Michelle. Bobye said during the docuseries, over the years our relationship with them had grown. Their oldest son, Josh, was our first daughter's boyfriend. We had known him since he was a baby. The couple split when Josh, 36, allegedly admitted to molesting 5 females in the family home in 2002 and 2003, Bobye and Jim explained in the docuseries. His younger sisters Jill, 32, who appeared in the docuseries, and Jessa, 31, came forward as victims. Bobye claimed, what Jim Bob had said to us was Josh had gotten into some trouble, he's touched his sisters inappropriately. Jim added on the docuseries, we found out about it when he was 15. We were like, well, when were you going to tell us? Michelle said, well, we weren't going to tell you guys at all. We were going to have Josh confess to Kaylee once they were married. Jim said, were you using my daughter as a carrot to get him to behave the right way? And he said, yeah, kind of. A representative for Jim Bob and Michelle did not respond to the U.S. Sun's request for comment at the time. Counting on, Jim Bob Duggar faces a cash crisis. Counting on and 19 kids and counting alum Jim Bob Duggar lost income from TLC thanks to Josh Duggar. And it happened twice. The first time, it happened when the news arrived that he had molested some of his sisters. The second time came after Josh was arrested and found guilty of possessing child pornography. Now, insiders suggest that the family is feeling the pinch and a crash crisis looms. Jim Bob Duggar paid Josh Duggar's legal fees. Josh took his case to trial, and that's not cheap when it comes to financing a legal team. Subsequent appeals also cost a lot of money. TLC fans can only presume that his dad helped to fork out that funding for his oldest son. Jim Bob Duggar isn't likely to land any new reality TV shows. After all, even if he did, who would watch it? Many people seem to have lost interest in watching the girls fall pregnant and have more babies. And hardly anyone is rooting to see more of the patriarch on a Counting On sort of show. Counting On family is facing a cash crisis. TLC fans are aware that the Duggar family is involved in flipping homes and renovations. In fact, there is good money to be made. But the family is very close-knit. If, for example, Jason Duggar loses the lawsuit for allegedly contracting for work fraudulently, who will pay for those lawyers and potentially a bad outcome? According to a source who spoke with In Touch Weekly, there is some sort of cash crisis looming for the family. The outlet reported that Jim Bob Duggar's family is not in a good place financially. They cited their informant as saying. TLC fans react to the news when In Touch Weekly shared the news on Instagram. Counting On fans took to the comments to discuss the new information. Here are some of their comments. I am sure they are doing okay still. Don't they have cell towers or their land that they rent out? Oh freaking boohoo. I guess the whole buy used and save the difference thing didn't really work out for them that well after all. Time for Michelle to be putting in some applications. Yet on his show he lectured so much about financial responsibility and always stretching a dollar so you have money. What are your thoughts on the allegations that Jim Bobye Duggar and his family face a cash crisis with the unlikelihood of any new reality TV coming their way? Do you think that Josh Duggar stretched the family's financial resources? Shout out in the comments below, and come back here often for all your counting on news, spoilers, and updates.